Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. You know, in English you say like I'm very, very tired. She's really, really upset. I feel a whole lot of stress. I feel very, very stressed out. Well, in Spanish, we have a way of doing that, right? And we're going to teach that to you today. Now, remember, all our different clusters are very important. The language learning module, right, where we input all this data and it's stored and it interfaces and creates circuitry with everything else that we've learned, takes clusters. The brain takes clusters of information and it processes it. If this were all to be in one color, black marker ink, and no circles, no different colors, no clusters. It's just it's a blob. It's a mess. And if you look at most educational settings, I think you will see when things are written on the whiteboard, they're all in black ink, nothing circled hardly. Sometimes there's an arrow. That's the exception. It happens. Great instructors, right? But the cluster method, the color method, I believe is critical to enhancing the speed with which we acquire all this information and process it and put it right here in the bank. Language learning module. So your job is to understand each cluster, whether it be big or small. All right, let's start off. The verbs that we're going to use in today's lesson are ser and estar. They both mean to be. Remember, estar is usually for a result of an action, like La tienda está cerrada, it's closed. That's a result of an action. If you say someone está enojado, then that means someone is mad as a result of something that happened prior, right? So estar is for temporary conditions and result of action. The verb ser is mainly used for a characteristic, something that you go to bed with and something that you wake up with. Let's take an exception. Let's take the adjective caro. Expensive, C-A-R-O, caro. If something is characteristically expensive, you say, los Lamborghini son muy caros. Lamborghinis are really expensive, characteristically. But if one is like 1/3 the price for whatever crazy reason, you say, woo, está muy barato, it's really cheap. That's an exception. But ser generally is for characteristics. Estar is for temporary conditions. So those are the two main reasons how we use ser and estar. Now, sentir is to feel. We know that's an IE stem-changing verb in the present tense and present subjunctive. We know in the preterite and in the past subjunctive, it is an E to I stem-changing verb. For example, sentí, sentiste, sintió, sentimos, sintieron. And tener, we know tener, that's our good buddy. Tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tienen. We know it's a go verb. We know in the preterite it's tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, tuvieron. And we know in the imperfect it's piece of cake. Tenía, tenías, tenía, teníamos, tenían. Okay, these are the four verbs that we're going to work with today. You're familiar with ser, estar, sentir, and tener. Now, if you have an adjective and you want to say really, really, or very, very, it's going to be muy, pero muy. The operative word here is pero. If you want to say like, I'm really, really sad, you'd say, estoy muy, pero muy triste. These are adjectives, right? Estoy muy, pero muy triste. If I want to say, they are really, really tired, I wouldn't say, están muy, muy cansados. You could say that, you would be understood. It's just not common. You could say, están bien cansados. That means they're really tired. But you're not going to say, están bien, bien cansados. Just like you're not going to say, están muy, muy cansados. Say, están muy, pero muy cansados. They are really, really tired. Let's go with enojado. Ooh, boy. Mom is really mad. Mom is very mad. Mamá está muy enojada, she's very mad. Mamá está bien enojada, she's very mad. Mom is very, very mad. She's really, really mad. Mamá está muy, pero muy enojada. Ocupado. We are really, really busy. We are very, very busy. Estamos muy, pero muy ocupados. Remember, your adjectives have 4 forms if they end in O. There's ocupado, ocupada, ocupados, and ocupadas. If it ends in an E, there are just 2 forms, triste and tristes. Let's go with interesado. I'm very, very interested. Estoy muy, pero muy interesado. That lady is very, very interested in buying your house. La señora aquella está muy, pero muy interesada en comprar tu casa. Enfermo. The dog's really, really sick. El perro está muy, pero muy enfermo. ¿Verdad? Let's go with avanzado. She is very, very advanced. Ella está muy, pero muy avanzada. Atrasado. He is very behind in school. He is really, really behind in school. He is very, very behind in school. Él está muy, pero muy atrasado en la escuela. Herido. She's really, really hurt. Ella está muy, pero muy herida with an A. Dolido, from the verb doler, to ache. Same thing, emotionally hurt. They are very, very hurt. Ellos están muy, pero muy dolidos, muy heridos. Informado, she is really, really informed. Ella está, pero muy, muy bien informada. She is really, really well informed. Ella está bien, pero muy bien informada. Okay, that takes care of our first big cluster. And now our second column with the verb ser. Responsable, responsible. Confiable, trustworthy. Inesperado, unexpected. Necesario, necessary. Importante, important. Repentino, sudden. Grande, big. Dañino, harmful, damaging. Sorprendente, surprising. She is very, very responsible. Ella es muy, pero muy responsable. He is very, very trustworthy. Él es muy, pero muy confiable. It's really, really unexpected. Es muy, pero muy inesperado. Necesario. It's really, really necessary. Es muy, pero muy necesario. It's really, really important. Es muy, pero muy importante. It's really, really sudden. Es muy, pero muy repentino. It's very, very big. Es muy, pero muy grande. It's very, very harmful. Es muy, pero muy dañino para la salud, for your health. Sorprendente. It is very, but very surprising. Es muy, pero muy sorprendente. Okay, our third cluster up here, these are nouns. We're going to use the verb sentir in the present tense. I feel really, really sad, but we're going to express it with a noun here. Literally, I feel much, much sadness. Here we're going to use mucho or mucha, because these are nouns. So it would be siento mucha, pero mucha tristeza. Literally, I feel much. I feel a lot, a whole lot of sadness. In other words, I feel really, really sad. Siento mucha, pero mucha tristeza. Alegría is happiness. So we would say, I feel really, really happy. Siento mucha, pero mucha alegría. You could say, estoy muy, pero muy feliz. Estoy muy, pero muy contento. Estoy muy, pero muy alegre. Yes, but we're expressing the same idea with nouns in the verb sentir. Arrepentimiento. I really regret it. I feel a lot of remorse, regretfulness. Siento mucho, pero mucho arrepentimiento. Siento mucho, pero mucho arrepentimiento. I feel real bad about it. Siento mucho, pero mucho arrepentimiento. Presión. She feels very, very pressured. But we're using it with the verb sentir. Ella siente mucha, pero mucha presión. She feels a lot, a real lot of pressure. Estrés. I'm feeling a lot, a whole lot of stress. Estoy sintiendo mucho, pero mucho estrés. Okay, so a lot, a whole lot. That translates as well. I've told you many times, there are lots of ways of saying things in English and lots of ways of saying the same thing in Spanish, but they don't always translate literally. So if you want to say, I'm feeling really sad, you could say, me siento muy, pero muy triste, using this reflexively. But if you use it with a noun, you don't use it reflexively. I'm feeling a lot of sadness. I feel really, really sad. Siento mucha, pero mucha tristeza. Understand, you can say, me siento muy, pero muy triste. I feel really, really sad. You can convey the same idea with siento mucha, pero mucha tristeza. Let's go with alegría. I'm feeling really, really happy. Well, me siento muy, pero muy feliz, like we said. Or it could be, siento mucha, pero mucha felicidad. I feel a lot of remorse. I feel really bad about it. Siento mucho, pero mucho arrepentimiento. Pressure. She's feeling a lot. I mean, a real lot of pressure. Siente mucha, pero mucha presión. And stress, we're all feeling a lot of stress. I mean, a lot of stress. Estamos todos sintiendo, S-I, sintiendo mucho, pero mucho estrés. Okay, I like that. You see how you can take sentir plus a noun, or you can take sentirse plus an adjective. And that's a lesson by itself. Sentir plus noun, sentirse plus adjective, to convey the same thing. Lots of choices. Again, Spanish is like walking into an incredible restaurant that has menus from all continents, right? Tons of choices to make. They're all going to feed you and give you nutrition. You pick and choose as you want. A language is the same thing. It's a big buffet. Let's come down here. These are in red, a separate cluster, because we're going to use the verb tener. You know how to say, I'm hungry, tengo hambre. I'm thirsty, tengo sed. I'm afraid, tengo miedo. I'm in a big hurry, tengo prisa. All right, let's take a look at hambre. I'm really, really hungry. Tengo mucha, pero mucha hambre. You could say, tengo muchísima hambre. That ísimo, ísima is the absolute superlative form of the adjective. You could say, tengo mucha, pero mucha hambre. Tengo muchísima hambre. It's the same thing. Es la misma cosa. Es lo mismo. And I'm still training for Joe Frazier. Sed. I'm dying of thirst. I'm really dying of thirst. Tengo mucha, pero mucha sed. Miedo. We are really, really scared. Literally, we have much, much fear. That's why we have to use mucho or mucha, because these are nouns. Tenemos mucho, pero mucho miedo. Calor. Woo! Tengo mucho, pero mucho calor. Tengo muchísimo calor. Frío. Tengo mucho, pero mucho frío. Tengo muchísimo frío. Ganas means to want to do something, desire. Stand and Deliver, the great movie with Jaime Escalante, right? The great math teacher from Garfield High School in South LA with Lou Diamond Phillips. It's a classic movie. Everybody should watch that movie. It's very inspiring. It's a great story. And these kids that have grown up on the street, not much academics in them or desire for academics, and he turns them around. And they ask him, Profe, ¿qué necesito para tomar la clase? What do I need to take the class? And he answers famously, ganas. Solamente ganas. That's a great line. It's like The Treasure of the Sierra Madre with Humphrey Bogart and Alfonso Bedoya, el gran actor mexicano. Budgies? What budgies? I ain't got to show you no stinking budgies. Well, the great line here would be, Profe, ¿qué necesito para tomar su clase? What do I need to take your class? Prof, teach, ganas. Solamente ganas. Desire. You got to want it. That's all you want. That's all you need to get in this class. You want to take it. You need the desire. ¿Verdad? Okay. In English, you know, always say, I really want to. You don't say, quiero mucho. I really want to. You say, tengo muchas, pero muchas ganas. Tengo muchas ganas. I really want to. This is a great phrase for you to learn right here. This is a gem. Where else? You tell me any textbook. You show me any other lesson online. It may be there. I haven't seen it. Where you're going to learn this really. I've never seen it in any textbook, college or high school. And I've never seen it online. Of course, I don't check out other Spanish language learning sites because I'm a Spanish teacher and I want to do my own unique way of teaching. But tell me, if you see this really explained and taught in clusters with many examples, no creo. No lo creo. No, señor. No lo creo. It's just like me losing to Joe Frazier. It ain't going to happen. Because I'm in shape. I'm ready. I'm going. I'm training. I'm still running 5 miles every morning. I'm lifting weights. I get in the ring for about 2.5 hours, shadow boxing. I box with my sparring partners. And then at night, I watch all sorts of movies. I watch the great boxers like Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis. I watch them all, the great fighters. That's why I'm ready. And I want you to be ready with your Spanish, right? Profesor Pablo Spanish. It's unique. It's our way of teaching. And I have a passion for it. You can't deny me that. Okay? Bueno. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Favor de suscribirse. Oprimir el botón de me gusta, ¿verdad? Comentar y compartir. Gracias, amigos. Tengan un gran día. Yo he estado muy ocupado yendo a conciertos. Fui a Las Vegas para ver el concierto de Lady Gaga. También en Las Vegas, en el MGM, vimos el show de Cirque du Soleil. También fuimos al concierto de Katy Perry en el Honda Center en Anaheim, California. Y anoche fuimos a ver a Rick Springfield en Oceanside, California. Y también fuimos al partido de los Padres. Estamos muy ocupados, mi señora y yo. Estamos jubilados. Tenemos un RV, ¿verdad? Tenemos 2 perros Golden Retriever blancos, muy lindos. Uno tiene 11, el otro tiene 10 años de edad. Pero es demasiado de mí. Este programa es para ustedes. ¿Ok? Tengan un gran día. Cuídense mucho. Tomen su agua. Sean buenas personas y practiquen su español. Gracias. Bye bye.